r/AskReddit. Sadboy6045 says, what's the most flattering thing you've been told? Aware_interest4461 says, I had a piercer who was piercing my belly button once tell me that my body was the reason men molded statues. I've never forgotten it. Icanbatus says, I was told years ago that the reason people feel comfortable telling me their secrets absolutely unprovoked is that I make them feel heard and safe and like I won't judge them. It was honestly the best compliment I've ever received. Up until then I always just thought I had one of those faces that somehow screamed, tell me all your problems. Loose_pilot 574 says, you aren't as weird as I thought you were. Changed my life. But Bowel Hennings says, there is a fine line between bullshit and charm, and you have it. Mighty Dog 2904 says, once a girl I liked told me I naturally make everyone smile. Deranged Confederacy says, my teacher, such a handsome young man me, I'm a girl. Trailer Park Prepper says, that I had a huge and massive penis. I knew it was a lie, and she knew that I knew that it was a lie. And I knew that she knew that I knew that she knew that it was a lie. But hey, it's the thought that counts. Aggressive Carib 6256 says, the girl I liked in high school said she liked the way I did my hair, and specifically said it made me look slimmer and more attractive. No_web 8554 says, that kind of sounds like a backhanded compliment lol. Princess Bubblegum says, I like your shirt sounds like nothing. Yes. But this was the first and only compliment by a stranger by her choice that I got. Naked_nomad says, I'm a guy, but I have been complimented on my hair numerous times. My wife just fumes. When they ask her what I do to make it shine like that, she tells them, nothing. He gets out of the shower, dries it with a towel, combs it back, and puts it in a ponytail. Makes me so damned mad. I have also had ladies ask me if they knew how much they paid to get the highlights in their hair that mine has naturally. Aelitus says, customers at work compliment my scent. If strangers online see photos of me, they say I'm handsome. Never hear it in real life though lol. Jink95 says, my laugh was the most beautiful thing they've heard. Horror School 6713 says, I feel safe with you from a girlfriend. Douglas 4722 says, a girl I had a huge crush on telling my friend she thinks I'm hot. Simp activity I know, but she was bangin'. Hobgoblin Reach Around says, a cute little girl in her Sunday finest pointed at me in my 37-year-old old ass edgy tattooed weirdness and said I wanna look like that guy. Made my day, little one. Jenscht says, I had spent several hours with a young friend of mine who was going through some difficult times. After he was feeling better about life, he smiled at me and said, you know, Jenscht, you're not like most white people. I have cherished that compliment for years. Bot4script says, the most flattering thing I've heard is that I'm a genuine and supportive friend. Simple Sky 6107 says, someone told me I remind them of this actress from some old mermaid movie. I forget. But I looked it up and she's pretty. Bobby Wee says, you're weird. My immediate response was thank you. Then they made it clear they meant in a nice way, but it genuinely made me feel great. We are dating now. Credibly Handsome says, I was once asked if I was Mr. Canada. Curious_light 2585 says, that I have an electric personality. Mares Spaghetti says, I'm glad you exist. Gator 717,375 says, nose of the year in 8th grade. Backslash the school paper compiled an ideal face using one feature from several students. My life has been boring backslash. Brightnblus says, in my 20s, there was a woman who was in her 40s 50s who came to my office location once or twice a year to do seminars/training. She trained me and been a great resource as I'd moved up the ladder a bit. One day as we were talking about our lives, while she was in office and between sessions, she was in the middle of lamenting how her daughter can't seem to figure it out, and while I forget the exact transition I remember her saying, I wish she could find someone like you. Someone who would be good to her and treat her right. At the time I'd been dealing with a lot of abuse from my partner and I'd not even realized it myself, let alone told anyone. And hearing that someone who I considered good at reading/judging people be like, you're the quality of person I'd like for my daughter, just felt good in a way I can't really describe. Like, to be both emphatically but also casually acknowledged in a deeply personal metric that I was very unsure about was really just what I needed at that point in time. r/AskReddit. SK0RVA says, what's something you discovered you were naturally good at? Arkinazilum says, I'm surprisingly a fast learner for some maintenance work around the house, like fixing a door. Soul Sorcerer says, UN frick, I'm things like PPL can ask me out of the blue to do the most undonable tasks and I will rip my hair out but still complete them. K1997 Germany says, languages. I'm good at understanding languages, even if I didn't learn them. That's especially for Germanic or Germanic influenced languages. BC, I'm a native German speaker. I taught myself English when I was around 12 years old. I'm not good at spelling though, but I'll understand and speak it fluently. Slavic languages are easy to understand for me too. I'm also pretty good with kids, they always like me, even if they are usually shy/scared around other people. I don't want to have any myself though. Ali8Li says, piano, learned it pretty easily. I started playing at 15, self-taught. International Al 355 says, changing my personality within a day. Savings_bandicoot_40 says, guitar. I started listening to rock music, and there was this almost magnetic pull that inspired me to learn guitar. And I guess I was just naturally good at it. I'm glad I decided to start learning. Rossumberger says, I always have been told that I'm really fast in funny comebacks. Example, we had to go to this show that one of my little cousin had to do because she was ending kindergarten. Most of my family have been invited, so we were talking with my mom and my uncle on the school's yard. She started talking about how if I misbehave, she would take my phone, and what I did. I'm really tall for my age. I got up, took my phone, and started jumping with my arm up holding the phone saying, come get it then. Come get it, and we all three laughed. If I misspelled, I'm sorry, I'm learning English. I rewrote the whole history from Spanish to English. Carmel_Wayne says, procrastinating. Rich Stark says, music. I was brought up not knowing I was actually destined to be a musician, then discovered my father's fathers are all talented musicians. Tiber Alanfang 95 says, blacksmithing. I watched Forged in Fire a few years ago and said I want to try, so I got a forge, anvil, and hammers and started making things. I made a custom holder for my mom's nebulizer within a day of starting. Roxana Ramoru says, cooking. How I discovered all my family from born really good at it. Atypical_ascendant says, speaking English. As a second language, it just came natural to me growing up. At school it was fine-tuned of course, but it was always just easy for me. Dumbastupid Bobby says, untying knots. When I was in elementary school, all the kids came to me if their shoelaces got knotted. When I worked in costumes, I always untangled the wigs and sewing thread. I can untangle electric cords and poorly put away Christmas lights and all that. OK Nefariousness 4715 says. Sleeping. Ohm 1989 says. Languages. I studied abroad and met people from over 40 countries and managed to learn different phrases in several languages. After repeating the phrases several times, people told me I have flawless pronunciation, and if they close their eyes they could swear I sound like a native speaker. Tenahemia says. Leadership. It never came up much when I was younger because I had self-esteem issues that prevented me from ever putting myself in a position to be relied up. But when I got a bit older and became more confident, I found that I always gravitated towards leadership positions in many different areas of life. I'm good at quickly understanding strengths and weaknesses of team members and how best to assemble them for whatever the task at hand is, and my manner of leadership is encouraging and empathetic so everyone walks away feeling good about whatever it is, rather than feeling browbeaten into a position. Starving_4, Truth says. Cleaning and organizing. Tin for Brains says. Falling down. I have epilepsy. Nabed2 says. I'm still wondering what would be my natural talent. Haha. I_need_to_SL33p says. English. I'm Argentinian so. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.